it can take quite a long time, as I'm sure we all know, to secure a diagnosis for your child, whether that is for ADHD or autism or a range of sort of neurodivergent um diagnosis. So if I feel that my child needs extra support, but I don't have that diagnosis in place yet, do the school have a responsibility to support them and make reasonable adjustments, or do I have to wait for that diagnosis to come in?
I mean, I'm very well aware that at the moment there are ridiculously large waiting lists, particularly in child and adolescent mental health services.
Mm.
The answer is that no, there is no need for a diagnosis. I've had many cases where it is assumed that somebody has, say, autism or ADHD, and the school is working on that basis. They know that, they're stuck in a 2 or 3 year waiting list for a diagnosis, but that then does not stop them seeking to assist. Similarly, I've had cases where they say we're not doing anything without a diagnosis, which is not correct. For the purposes of, I suppose, disability law, the Equality Act, that it has not been formally diagnosed when it is understood by everybody the disability is understood by everybody to be there, will not make a difference. They still need to make reasonable adjustments. And often, in respect of working out what provision is required to meet a child's needs, that obviously will be individual and depend on the child, but it may be that other professionals are able to say what is required. So, for example, a speech and language therapist may be able to give an indication as to what is required to improve the social communication skills and language skills of somebody with, say, autism, or an educational psychologist would give advice on the best way to help them learn in the classroom, similarly with other conditions such as ADHD. So the non-existence of a diagnosis does not preclude other people assessing what their needs are and
Yeah.
seeking to explain what the provision is required to meet those needs. Sometimes, whether or not a person has a diagnosis, they may still have needs that need to be met.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think actually that's a really comforting answer for a lot of parents going through the process of trying to secure that diagnosis and advocating for their